today is day 7, I guess. I'm doing updates only on weekdays, not on the weekends, since I take off part of the weekends. And so today was a good day. As far as I did get one lead to do campaign photos. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa Edwards of Photo Bacon, and I'm challenging myself to book 30 portrait sessions in 30 days. So we are on day 7. Anyway, so I got a voicemail, and this man is looking for campaign photos, not in my city, but the city next to mine, for their chief executive, which is pretty much the mayor. And this woman is already the mayor, and she's up for re-election, and they need photos for the primary, which I think happens in June. I'm not exactly sure. So I talked to him for a good 20-30 minutes about what they were looking for, and at the very end I kind of asked what their budget was. And the good news was the budget, he said, was whatever it takes, which is music to my ears, right? He said that they wanted good photos this year, that 4 years ago they didn't have good photos. She got elected anyway, but they didn't have good photos, and that was one spot where they were missing out on in their campaign. They didn't have great photos. So I need to get a quote to them, and sometimes I hate quoting commercial work. I'm sure some of you feel the same, because a lot of people, all they want is they want super cheap, and they just want all the digital files, all the rights. And so what I've been doing is more of a hourly rate, but it's a high rate. It's about $300 an hour, $300 to $400 an hour, and then they do get the digital files to use however they want. I used to do the whole, recommended way of doing commercial photography, which was, you bill for the time and then you bill for usage. And I actually lost a contract I had, a big contract with a local university, and that was a huge reason why. And so instead, I just upped my hourly rate and said it's just all inclusive. You can use it however you want. I just need photo credit. For a campaign, I don't really even want photo credit because it's political. And while it's great to have great photos out there, at the same time, I don't really want my name associated with political things. And the nice thing is, this is the town next to mine, not my city. So it's not like I'm going to get wrapped up in the politics of it all. And so that's how that's going to be. So I'm thinking this will be another booking. So we'll be at, we can call it 3 bookings. One of them was a mini session, so you could count it 2.5 bookings. And then today I decided I really need to ramp up and get in gear. I'm going to start, I'm hoping by the end of the day I have some sort of senior campaign started. I'm going to do, it's not necessarily going to be a senior model program, but at the same time, it's going to be, I think it's just not going to be how I did it last year. And how I did it the last 3 years was contacting people through Facebook and doing the model program where you get referrals, then you ask them to come in for a meeting, and you do, I feel like they're in-person sales presentations, you do group meetings. That went really good the first 2 years I did them. And then last year I had some bad feedback with one mom cornering a couple other moms and saying how high pressure it was, even though people had 2 or 3 days to decide if they wanted to join. And it was just not good. And I'm not sure if it was just the batch of parents I got last year, because I did it exactly the same, or if it is a little too salesy, which I sort of feel like it is, even though it's not pressured. And sorry if I'm kind of rambling on, but I'm deciding I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to go to more of a small group, maybe 3 or 4 seniors. I already know a couple of parents that are past clients of mine that have already said they wanted to do the senior model program. And I'm thinking I'm going to get those girls kind of as my models and have them actually pay for their session. And then instead of kind of earning points, I think I'm just going to do it where they're actually going to get, as their model session, they're going to get 5 or 6 friends together, and we're just going to do a 1 hour long group photo session with Facebook photos, and they all have to be juniors. And I want to get those done here in the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to hope to contact those parents today, get something scheduled for about in 2 weeks, so that then I can at least get those 2 or 3 seniors booked, and then have an incentive for the other juniors that came along, to get them kind of booked as well. I'll probably do some sort of promo where the model will get between $25 and $50 for anyone that books, and then I'm thinking anyone that books in June is going to have to pay like a $100 or $200 deposit, and the session is free, because it's really hard if I don't do it that way to get anyone booked in June. Everyone wants to wait until August, when it's going to be for sure nice here in Montana, and they can be tan and all that jazz. So that's what I'm working on today, and then I'm going to send out an email today as well. I think it was almost exactly 2 years ago, I did a project where I live in this amazing historical town. Here, I'll show you out the windows. You're seeing a parking lot, but I think it's has the second largest historical district, and it's only a town of 33,000 people. And so there's all these historical buildings. There's these crazy stories. There's, the year I did this project, it's called the Deep Roots Project. The guy, he's like in his 70s. He remembers his parents as bootleggers. His parents were bootleggers. He remembers the cops coming and busting I don't even know what they call them, the stills, I think. And then he had to go live with his grandma, and it was just this big thing. And so the project is basically recording these stories, doing a model call for families in Butte that have these really big histories, minors, that kind of thing. And I'm going to send out an email to my list, but I also have some families who are past clients who I know would be perfect for this. And so I'm going to also just reach out to them directly. And I'm pretty sure how I'm going to do it is how I did it 2 years ago, which is the session is complimentary. They get $50 in credit, and then they pay for their packages. And I had really good orders. A couple years ago, I think I had 9 or 10 sessions. I think I only had one person who didn't order any extra, and that was kind of my fault. I couldn't get them in before I did a gallery show of all the photos and the stories, and it was great. But I didn't get them in before, and then I kind of didn't follow up, so they might not have ordered, but it was kind of my own doing, not getting them to order. But I had really great orders, I think, because a lot of these people were professionals. There was the owner of the bridal shop in town, and that kind of thing. So I got the right kind of clientele. So I went through a little bit earlier, and I'm going to finish it off right now. Just basically revamping the email I sent out 2 years ago and putting in the actual photos I took, and making a page on my website specific for this. And then I should by the end of the day, and by the end of the day it's Monday, so I usually work late. I come to work at 11, and then I work until 7 or 8. My parents watch my boys, and this is kind of the one night a week I usually work. So I should be able to get that out. And I'm thinking I should be able to have 6 or 7 leads within the next couple days, and hopefully get, let's say, at least 5 of them booked this week and another 5 next week. So that should be 10. And I know in an earlier Periscope I talked about, okay, what counts? Does it have to be a paid session? Can it be a complimentary session? And I kind of feel like if there's an order, if they order at least the smallest package in the end, that's considered a session. So I guess we can kind of say if I book 10, maybe 1 won't order. So we can say that's 9. So that's what I'm doing today, and I will give an update tomorrow. Thank you, guys. If I can figure out how to stop this. This happens every time. Oh.